Yeah. It's your boy JFK. How far, man? 2020. What a year. What a year. My people, man. As you fall in, let me know you're here. Let me know you're here. You know how we do. Yeah, so Christmas is coming. I hope you got your new digs, your new clothes, your new shoes. You know how it goes, man. The kids these days, man, they just look at Christmas and they just want stuff, those of us who grew up in a time where just the idea of Christmas was enough. Was just the joy was too much, So I want to say welcome to everybody. Look, I mean, today, it's not a small thing. I'm just looking around, man. If you go online, you see a lot of stuff, and I'm telling you right now, man. Yes, so let's just wait for my people to fall in. Yes. Matter of fact, I'll probably do this. My people, as you fall in, let me know you are here. Let me know you are here, man. Christmas is coming. MJ Jex in the building. What up, sis? You all right? How's everything then? What's the story on this new strain of the virus then? What you guys up to? What you trying to do? MJ Jex in the building. Oh my goodness, man. God will help us, my sister. God will help us, as we are killing one strain, another strain is trying to raise its ugly head. Thunder fire the other strain. Yo, if you are here, drop me a line. Let me know you are here. Let's get started. All good. Amen. Amen. I trust God to keep us. Amen. That's why, I can't let go of faith, because doors will try, but prayer works. Oh, you're on holiday. Where? Are you out of the UK? Are you away from the second strain of the virus? Did you dodge it? Did you know something and then you left? If you're here, drop me a line. It's your boy JFK. Christmas is coming. Christmas is coming. Yo, listen, man. America, we are still in it, though. We are still struggling. Look, all of this was predictable. All of this was predicted. Some of us predicted it. Like, if Donald Trump loses the election, it's going to be a rough couple of days, and we are in it right now. What I don't understand is how people can still be supporting this nonsense. How are you still, you're on tier 4 lockdown? Yo, UK, man, I'm afraid, though. I'm afraid. Look, we don't, as a matter of fact, anybody that is speaking with British accent now in America, they're going to arrest you. If you speak with British accent, they will arrest you. We don't want the second strain. We don't want the strain we are dealing with. We have not finished dealing with it. Why is there a new strain? What kind of horror movie is this? It's like watching a horror movie. Like you're dealing with the strain of the virus. Another strain has just shown up. This was a stronger strain. What kind of nonsense is this? Hey, Mommy Noah is in the building. Good to see you. Compliments of the season, Mommy. Hope you are keeping safe. God will protect us from every strain of corona. All the strains of corona, God will protect us. No strain formed against us shall prosper. Yo, yeah, MJ, that's not fair on Boris. You said Boris stole Christmas. It's not fair on Boris, man. He's the second strain that stole Christmas. The second strain is the Grinch. Hey, my sister, look, let's just this year, let's write this year off on our taxes. Just write the Henry Asuzu in the building. My brother, compliments of the season. Yo, man, look, Henry, how you dealing with all of this talk about martial law? Are you ready? Michael Flynn said martial law is coming. Are you ready? Because Donald Trump, if he can't win at the ballot box, he will win at gunpoint. He's morphing into a true dictator, into a true authoritarian. His African ancestors are knocking on the door of his heart. Hey, you, martial law. Are we serious, right? Is this America? Is this America? Is this America? Martial law, bro? Martial law in America. Don't get me wrong. There are those who are saying, well, he came up with a tweet saying it's not true. We all know how Donald Trump operates. The tweet that is not true has no reference or no bearing on the fact that it is true. No, Henry, I never disagree with you on the impending doom, because one thing we understood about this guy, Donald Trump will destroy this country before he leaves the White House. That has always been his mindset. If he can't have the White House, no one else can have the White House. And the angels of Africa with Donald Trump. The angels of Africa, they showed up, but they did the right thing. They didn't help Donald. They helped Biden. Sleepy Joe. They helped Sleepy Joe in his basement. Yes, Sleepy Joe was in his basement, and the angels from Africa helped him to win. Rita is in the building. Yo, Rita, it's scary. It's scary. You know, Donald Trump came out and said, "Oh, he doesn't really mean like no, like oh, it's fake news." But you see, that's what upsets me. For anybody who's out there who's still a Trump supporter, I want to say something right now. I respect the Trump supporters in a way. This is what I mean. There are some Trump supporters who voted for him, who are all about him, but who have not joined more nonsense about voter fraud and rigging. So those guys, they're in a different category because they are people who supported and they still support Donald Trump, but there's also a part of them that accepts the reality that, well, he lost the election. So you see, that's a different category. There's another category that we should be really worried about. These are the guys that have embraced every alternative theory except for the true theory, which is the fact that he lost the election. And I've said it in my last two sessions. The reasons why Donald Trump lost the election are clear. You don't need to look for dead people voting. You don't need to look for dead people voting. You don't need to look for ballot boxes that were stolen. You don't need to look for fake mail-in ballots. All you need to remember is what happened this year. All you need to remember is what happened this year. And I told somebody said, oh, Donald Trump has so many rallies and Biden didn't have any rallies. How can Trump, with so many people in his rally, lose to a man with no rallies? And I told him, Biden's rally is the Black Lives Matter protest you were witnessing all over the summer. Who did you think those people voted for? The 11-hour lines where black people, you see, this is so annoying to me, and it's so disrespectful and so insulting. Everybody that goes out there and says the election was rigged, and you are pointing to Atlanta, you're pointing to Philadelphia, you're pointing to all the cities where, you know, African Americans and minorities showed up. All of you that are saying those things, like thunder fire you. Thunder fire, you are a liar from the pit of hell. You are a liar, and your lie is from the pit of hell. We were all here when people were lining up for 11 hours in those same cities, where the counting those votes would have taken up until midnight, which is why the vote count did not come in until later, when your idiot boss, Lord of the Morons, when Lord of the Morons, the Lord of the Morons got on TV around 10 p.m. talking about, I've been winning. As if it can't count. I know Donald Trump does not know math, he can't count. What is your own problem as a MAGA person? Are you also as dumb as he is? Do you also not know how math works? Do you not realize that if we count the red counties first, which are easier to count because there are fewer people, their numbers will come in and Donald Trump will look like he's having a win? Experts told all of us, I analyzed the people, and like before the election, you're going to have a red mirage because that's how the elections work. They're going to count the counties that have 10 people, 15 people. But the first county that was counted that voted had 5 people in it. I posted, that was the first county that voted. I think it was in New Hampshire. There are 5 people in that county. I don't know how they call a polling booth. They have their own polling booth every year. They are the first ones to vote. I think Maine also. So those guys came in first. Whoever they voted for, that's the first thing you will see on their map. So when you saw the red dots, you knew that Trump was winning the places he was expected to win. And you should have prepared your blockers of a mind for when the blue wave will come from the inner cities that will take longer to count and will not finish counting until late night. I'm talking to you as if I'm talking to somebody who is reasonable. That can be my error, but I will keep doing it because I see them online. They're everywhere. They're everywhere, still holding on to rubbish, talking about your boy lost. He's a loser. Losing is in his blood. You see, he stumbled onto a victory in 2016. He stumbled onto a victory. Congratulations to Vladimir Putin. But what I'm telling you right now is that his true nature has shown. And I told somebody when he won, I said, don't celebrate his victory. He will be a one-term president because his nature, the Yoruba have a saying, say, Iwa lefi. Say it with me. Iwa, yeah, Iwa lefi. Lefi, yeah. No, sorry, I got it wrong. Efi niwa, Efi niwa. Efi, say niwa, yeah. That means your character is like smoke. You could cover it up. You could put it in. It's going to seep out. It's going to find a way to seep out. That's what Donald Trump represents. Donald Trump's character cannot be hidden. That is why his presidency is a train wreck. Thank you, Mommy. No has given me the full breakdown. For those of you who want to spell it, it's here. If you are here, drop me a line. Let me know you are here. So here's my point tonight. We now have in America people talking about martial law. And this should be the shame of everyone who ever supported tomorrow. In this country is by no means perfect. America has a history of things that, one that cannot be covered up. But America is working towards a better union, a more perfect union. Now we are talking about martial law. And the idiot who is talking about it is a general. Is a general. Are you telling me that if this kind of people had their way in power, they will not turn this entire place into their own personal business? Think about it. He wants to declare martial law. He wants them to go and seize boxes. And this is the thing that offends me. People have the nerve to go online and say, well, Donald Trump has denied it, that he didn't want to do it. Like, I don't want to call you names, but I'm upset. I'm too upset to deal with that nonsense. What is it about Donald Trump that tells you that he's not interested in martial law? Have you ever anything about Donald Trump that will tell you that he's not interested in martial law? The man who said when the looting starts, the shooting starts, that guy. The man who says you have to dominate them, that guy. Oh my goodness. My pastor is in the building. Baba, God bless you, Baba. We are just here talking about that. 2020 has been a very stressful year, but we are finishing out. I think we'll be okay in 2021. I'm trusting God, but we need to erase this nonsense. I started these videos to debunk conspiracy theories. The reason I started FB Live, so I could not understand why people were watching the pandemic destroying us, and they were running around. First of all, denying the pandemic. And then when they were agreed for the pandemic, they were now talking about it was caused by 5G towers. The 5G people have been quiet now for months. Their theory has been totally obliterated. You won't hear 5G anymore. But think about all the people who, because of the 5G theory, behave differently towards this coronavirus. 320,000 Americans later, dead. I remember people telling me when there were 50,000 Americans, they were telling me, oh, the numbers are exaggerated. And I kept challenging them. What is the real number, sir? You are saying the numbers are exaggerated. That means you know the real number, right? At least for you to see something exaggerated, you know what's the real number. They can't tell me. And I told them, if 10,000 people die from this thing is bad enough, we're at 320,000. That's what I'm saying. We're at 320,000. Harry Adita talking about Arsenal fans, you Arsenal people and Chelsea people. I can't handle you today. But ladies and gentlemen, I want you to think deeply about what we're talking about in America. A general who has just been pardoned after admitting to a felony. And let me parse this conversation. I have friends who continue to make it look like General Flynn being pardoned or the DOJ trying to remove his charges is somehow an exoneration that allows us to now treat him as if he's an honorable man. It's like I can't understand you. I can't understand you. The circumstances by which the DOJ was trying to remove, his conviction was itself under question when Donald Trump would not have needed to pardon him if the charges against him had been dropped without question. These are dishonorable people. And now this same Flynn, because he has been pardoned by Trump, he now has the nerve. He has the nerve to go on TV and call for martial law. Now, for those of you who may not have heard about it, let me try to play this for you. And I want to see, I want to see, whether or not you have all heard this. But let's see.
At the Pentagon,
here we go.
They're putting people in place who might not be opposed to aggressive action, and the president does have some options, at least on paper. Can you tell us what those options are and your opinion if he might take any of them?
Well, I don't know if he's going to take any of these options. I mean, the president has to plan for every eventuality, because we cannot allow this election and the integrity of our election to go the way it is. I mean, this is just totally unsatisfactory. There's no way in the world that we are going to be able to move forward as a nation with this. So the president has and I just mentioned one of the options. I mean, he could immediately, on his order, seize every single one of these machines around the country on his order. He could also order the within the swing states, if he wanted to, he could take military capabilities and he could place them in those states and basically rerun an election in each of those states. I mean, it's not unprecedented. I mean, these people, out there talking about martial law. It's like it's something that we've never done. Martial law has been instituted 64 times, Greg. So I'm not calling for that.
Ladies and gentlemen, did you hear him? Now look at what he said at the end. After describing the process by which Donald Trump could use martial law, he could use military capabilities, he could deploy them to the swing states, he could seize voting machines, and then defending the use of martial law in history. Do you understand this logic? Now, you see what I'm saying? He describes the martial law steps as, don't forget, the question to him was, what are the steps that Trump could take to still salvage himself from losing this election? His answer is that he's talking about the martial law description, that he can use the military capabilities. He describes martial law. He basically defends it. He gives examples of when it's been used before. And then he says, yeah, I'm not calling for that. Do you understand how they operate? All they have to do is throw out the concept, and then they try to withdraw it. That's what Donald Trump is also doing online, saying, oh, it's fake news, all the talk of martial law. When the reporting is that Flynn was with him over the weekend. Everybody, he doesn't deny that. Steve Bannon was seen walking on the White House lawn towards the White House. Sidney Powell was there with him. All the congressional members who are ready to do something. We're going to talk about January 6th. Ladies and gentlemen, if you are here, drop me a line. We're going to talk about January 6th very soon. I'm going to break down. A lot of us are asking questions like this January 6th that they're talking about with the congressional vote to certify the Electoral College. Trump and his people are making noise about how they're going to have objections and they're going to overturn it on January 6th. And, I'm going to break it down. And it's the same mindset. These are the same people that told you that Donald Trump, was going to protect the elections. He sent lawyers everywhere. We're going to keep them from stealing the elections. Then when he lost, he says they have stolen the elections. So everything he didn't to prevent them from stealing it, what he's admitting is that his own efforts to stop the steal did not work. Fine. Then he went ahead and he said, I'm going to put lawyers everywhere. His lawyers went to all the courts. Can we just take a moment and think about the odds of going to 59 courts, filing 59 cases, 59 suits, when you have claimed that there's widespread evidence? Do you understand what I'm saying? Widespread evidence of voter fraud and rigging. And you have now filed 59 suits, and you are unable, ladies and gentlemen, think about this. You are unable to prevail in any of them that have to do with overturning the elections. BC says, for those of you who do not understand what BC is saying there, it's like this man is a madman. yeah. So it's like, after all this, his gray cells are dying. No sense at all. And the thing that I want you to pay attention to is this. For everyone that has been telling us that we're exaggerating, this is why I'm doing this show today. All of you that accuse those of us who have been shouting about Donald Trump and how dangerous he is, saying that we're exaggerating, this is for you. This is for you. Do you know that what separates America from this issue of martial law right now, from this thing being real, is the fact that we have career professionals in the military, even in that White House still. Over the weekend, there are reports that there was a big fight and argument with Flynn there and Sidney Powell and Trump asking them about this martial law idea, this seizing of the voting machines in the swing states. You can see Trump thinking about that. Because don't forget, Donald Trump may have understood that he's no longer going to be president, but he will never forgo or pass over a chance to destroy things on his way out. You see, that's precisely the kind of person Donald Trump is. He will set fire to the house if he cannot have the house. That's who he is. And so all the things you are hearing, those of you that, he's not capable. No, he's very capable of thinking and trying to do those things. He's just incompetent. That's what I'm grateful for. He can't do stuff. He doesn't know how to do stuff. If he was smarter, we would have been in trouble. If you are here, drop me a line. They're talking about martial law. And I want you to understand how dangerous that is. That the fact that it's being raised Forget about whether or not it's possible or it's going to happen. It is the fundamental issue that somebody in America is talking about soldiers taking over, state electoral processes. Do you understand? And it's ironic coming from people who call themselves protectors of state rights in America. And so the danger of Donald Trump that someone like me has been trying to pass on with this show, the danger of misinformation, the danger of lies that Donald Trump represents to this country is not going to end even with his removal. What's going on? Femi Badmus in the building. Good evening, bros. Yo. BC, let me read your comment. This administration and election cycle made us shine our eyes. These GOP reps are so spineless. They are hypocrites. This is what this time has taught. And I said it during the year. Donald Trump is a test of this American. Pastor Shola Jordan Adeoye is in the building of the rejuvenation fame. Pastor Shola Rejuve TV in the building. This has been a test of what America has called its own constitutional democracy. Every pillar of this democracy has been shaken. It has been shook. It has been shacked. It is being shooked. Every single pillar of this democracy in the 3.5 to 4 years of Donald Trump has been grabbed in the crotch by this equal opportunity abuser. Hey, Trump is a test. Biden will be a testimony. We should pray. We should pray. Biden is inheriting a mess. Biden is inheriting a deliberate mess. Do you know they have stopped giving the Biden team updates on national security? The Trump team said they stopped because of the holidays. The Biden team says, we don't want any holiday. Give us the documents. We're already late. They stopped giving the Biden team updates. Biden is walking into an avalanche of rubbish. Donald Trump has been covering up the incompetence of his government, not even doing a good job of that. The next administration will enter and they will realize how horrible. Israel Olusegun Alikajon is here. My brother, it's not funny. Did you ever imagine in your lifetime that you'll be here in America talking about martial law for an election? Not for terrorism. No, BC, you know exactly what they are doing. They don't want Biden to. Look, let's get one thing straight. Donald Trump's personality, his fundamental essence is vindictiveness. He has been psychoanalyzed. Right. Let me do Professor Eyes. He has been psychoanalyzed. He is a vindictive individual. His own sociopathy is mixed with some psychopathy, which is now surrounded with narcissism. Okay, and there's an inferiority complex that makes him want to aspire to those who he considers to have condescended to him. Am I making sense to you? It is the phenomenon that drives him. That is why Obama is such an enemy. Obama dared to ridicule him at the dinner the other day, talking about, Donald Trump has to decide who's going to win The Apprentice. I have to decide how do we kill Osama bin Laden. Yeah, we are both busy. I was hot for Donald myself. And he can't laugh at himself. He can't laugh. No. You see, BC, I'm only postulating. I'm postulating that there are hypotheses and hypothesi that I'm postulating to give the gravitas that this situation requires. Am I saying something? Donald Trump is fundamentally vindictive. No slight will be left unaddressed with Donald Trump. You may be a child. He went over there and started talking down to Greta Thunberg, the young lady who is working on climate change. He attacked the disabled person, attacked the star family. And every time he did that, you know what his supporter said? He's just punching back. Does decency not come into play? Do you not consider not to punch everyone back? Considering you're the president of the United States? That's the tragedy of Donald Trump. At the highest office attainable in this temporal realm, at the highest office, he was still not content to be president. Did you understand? And so what we are seeing right now is him lashing out. He will try to destroy what he can destroy before Biden takes over. Because then he will go to the other side and begin to shout from the rafters that Biden is failing after he's setting Biden up to fail so that he can go and say Biden is failing. But we are not deceived. No shame, no empathy. And I told you at the beginning, one of the biggest downfalls, you see, Donald Trump supporters, I don't know what to do with you. I don't know who you are anymore. If you can be supporting them calling for martial law, then we are done. We're done. We are not on the same plane. And I see some Trump supporters trying to defend and say, oh, but he tweeted that there's fake news about martial law. It's too late. Donald Trump started with lies. He's ending with lies. We know him. He's a liar to the core. He's a championship liar. Donald Trump is part of the Delta Force of deception. He lies when he doesn't have to. This is the tragedy of the man. He lies when he doesn't have to. Operation Warp Speed to hasten the development of the vaccine, a great success. Good job. But then he had to pretend like Pfizer was part of it. Did you understand? He is driven to lie. He's a man of lies. He lies from his soul. And you dare tell me that this is the messenger of God? That is the problem I have with my evangelicals. This man that you have chosen to point to as the example of God's presence in politics is the embodiment of everything that the Bible says the Lord hates. Is everything, the pride, the greed, the lust. He's not on his third wife just because his wives are difficult. He's a serial philanderer. He's famous for it in New York. And that's why I laugh at Nigerian Christians who hail him. You will not accept half of what Donald Trump has done with any other person in your area. A deacon, not even a deacon, a church member who is guilty of half of the things that Donald Trump is guilty of will not be allowed to enter the church. That's the irony. That's the real tragedy of this. You have now turned him into an idol. Evangelicals, you've turned him into an idol. You rather die now. You rather die. You're calling yourself a believer and you're putting all your faith into a man. What part of the scripture is that? This is why you don't put your faith in any man. It is all in God. It's all in Christ. God uses men, but it is the God who uses men that we worship, not the men. You know, I can't help but bring it up. So I bring that up real quick to say, this is what they are calling for. This is what they're calling for. You see, martial law, that phrase, martial law, telling the military to come and take over. And don't forget, they already did something like this in Washington during the protests, where they sent the armed men out there to beat protesters. That was the moment where General Milley began to turn back from Trump. That was the moment Trump began to lose a lot of the support of the military, because the military traditionally vote conservative by a large number, just on statistics. This was the first time in a long time where soldiers, where the military brass and infantrymen, where a good chunk of them voted for Biden. You've never seen it before. Part of the reason was because true soldiers, true men that are truly committed to this nation as military men and women, they noticed that the trend of Donald Trump will lead to a day when they will bring soldiers into the states and tell everybody to stay in their houses. This is why soldiers did not want Donald Trump to win. That's why he lost a lot of votes. That's why when they were saying, there were some counties, now I don't know, I pay attention to this. There were some counties where they were waiting for the military votes, like in Virginia. There's some places where the military vote was supposed to come in and favor Donald Trump heavily. As a matter of fact, in some of the mail-in votes where Donald Trump was losing, there was a sense that when the mail-in votes for those counties come in, or whenever they came in, that they would favor Trump and they would change the mathematics. In Pennsylvania, there were some areas where they were looking for, Georgia, they were looking for military votes to come in and boost Donald Trump. When the military votes came in, sir, the margin between Trump and Biden remained the same. There were enough votes for Biden in the military votes to keep him ahead of Donald Trump. Ordinarily, you would never see that. I'm telling you, in addition to all the things he said about soldiers, what soldiers know and what they knew at the time, and what the generals have been saying, the generals that worked for him have been telling us, This is what upsets me about people. You're in your basement. I'm in my basement. You're in your house. I'm in my house. We are discussing Donald Trump as if we live with him. The people that work for him are telling you something about Donald Trump. You are saying fake news. What exactly are your issues? What are your multiple problems? let me get some of these comments here. Olayemi Johnson is in the building. Let me read my brother. Let me say, the gimmick of Trumpism is to make everyone subsequent. Every subsequent government fail. He has set up a sleeping service for them. He's a verified and certified. I would say liar for him. You are right. He's designed a system where there will be failure. But here's my point. This is where Donald Trump, and I will go back to this issue. Had it been that Donald Trump is a smarter person, I would have been more worried about the traps he set. He's not smart enough to set the kind of trap that will destroy the country. He's not. Because the thing about Donald Trump is that his ego controls him. You see, a lot of geniuses, evil geniuses, some of them have this ego, but they also have a brain that is so sharp that he knows when to tamp down the ego for benefit, for gain. And I've said it before, Donald Trump would have won this. You see, you don't need to talk about fraud and rigging. There was no fraud, there was no rigging. If you find one or two pockets where something was done, it is nowhere near the scale that brought Biden to victory. You can say almost a third of those that voted for Biden just voted against Trump. That's what I'm trying to help you understand. You're asking, how did Biden get so many votes? How did he beat Obama? He didn't have to. He didn't have to. Trump is horrible enough. Don't you understand? A lot of African Americans, a lot of young people voted against Trump. Many of them still don't like Biden. Do you understand? A lot of liberals, the left wing of the Democratic Party, they're really upset that Biden is the nominee. Do you understand that? Many of them already they started attacking Biden for his cabinet. They're already upset with Biden for his cabinet. They are taking apart all his moves. Some people are even upset with Biden because, he did not fight for $2,000, stimulus, as if he's in Congress or as if he's president already. What am I trying to say? It's not about the love for Biden. It's about the disgust with Donald Trump. It's the disgust. Let me get some of my people in here. Pastor Mola said, not sleeping at all to January 20th. Watch and praying. Yeah, so with one eye open, Baba. With one eye open, because the rot and the corruption and the decay that this man sowed into this system, we have not seen it in generations. And it's easy. They say it's easy to destroy. It's easier to destroy than to build. That's Donald Trump's motto. It's easier for him to destroy this country than to build. He knows he just corrupts everything. Let me tell you something about America. The bright spot of this entire experiment. The American judiciary, the judicial system in America, as imperfect as it is, has saved this nation. It has become the instrument of salvation. God just used the judiciary. Because let me tell you something. It's a thin line. It's a thin line between what we have now, this relative chaos, and complete destruction. If the Supreme Court just decided to just humor Trump a little bit and give some legitimacy to the attacks on the election fraud, my brother, my sister will be in a big mess, a bigger mess. Do you understand what I'm saying? It would only have taken 3 or 4 Supreme Court justices to really go in on their Trump support. And he has them. Trump has supporters in the Supreme Court. Make no mistake. The reason why we were worried about George Ginsburg passing away and Amy Coney Barrett coming in is because the Supreme Court of America is now 6-3 in favor of conservatives. Among that 6, we have 3 that were put there by Trump. Among the other 3, we have 2 who support Trump no matter what he does. Justice Roberts is the only outlier. Did you understand what I'm trying to say? So it's not as if Donald Trump doesn't have support in the Supreme Court. Thank you. It's not as if he doesn't have support. As a matter of fact, forget Supreme Court. Donald Trump has support in all the federal courts and the lower courts where he lost his electoral cases. The number of Trump-appointed judges that threw out Trump cases is one of the most astounding things I was watching for. You see, I get upset. All these people, all these online lawyers. As a lawyer, let me tell you something. I am humble enough to tell you, I do not know election law. That's not what I practice. That's not what I practice. So I had to listen. So let me get this out of the way. So I had to listen. I had to listen to lawyers who knew about election law to learn what was going on. The judges that threw out Trump cases, many of them would have loved to help Donald Trump. Understand what I'm telling you. These are the same judges that have been upholding some of the things that Trump has been doing. These are the same judges that have been throwing out some lawsuits against Donald Trump. Do you understand? So in this moment, they would have loved to help him. The problem is there was no fraud. That's the problem. There was no rigging. That's the fundamental issue. The rigging did not happen. Judges were literally asking Donald Trump's lawyers to give them something to work with. Go and read some of the transcripts. I am upset with all these people. You are online arguing about court cases. I have people on my page that are silent now. They have seen the light. They are silent now. Arguing with me, telling me I should just wait. They have started the lawsuits, that the lawsuits will come back and Trump will win. And I asked them simple questions. Now, where has the suit been filed? Which law firm is helping the Trump team? What is the main point of the suit? What is the contention of the suit? You don't know details about the cases that you are bragging about. I was watching them online everywhere. They are still there, Nigerians and others doing. They think they are doing. They think they are. They think they are. They think they are doing permutations for Bet Niger. They are doing calculation like, so if Trump does the lawsuit on Friday, that means that by Monday, Supreme Court would have given him the presidency. You guys don't understand the way America works. When you give a lawsuit to Supreme Court for election fraud, and they begin to open those machines will show that they have been transferring votes to buy. Like, are you an idiot? You're an idiot. You have no clue what you're talking about. 59 cases in several courts thrown out. 2 attempts at the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court battered it away. We're not even talking about it. The Supreme Court, I can't even. And this is a court that wants to help him. Understand, the Supreme Court wants to help Donald Trump 6-3. The federal judges that Donald Trump has bragged about how many judges he has put in with Mitch McConnell. Were you not there when he was bragging? Are you not aware of Donald Trump using that as one of his biggest selling points of his victory, of his success as president? Did you not clap for him? Have you not used the same line to brag about Donald Trump's achievements? He appointed the most judges. Even judges that have never practiced law, judges that have never argued in front of me, they are all there because Mitch McConnell just passed all of them through. You were bragging and boasting, and some of us were crying about it. And now you are sitting here, you are saying, "Oh, those judges are the judges are liberal." Are you? I'm asking you. You're out of your mind. You don't know math. You can't count. Roberts gave a surprise. I'm telling you, apart from the surprise, do you understand? Do you know that it's not just Roberts? It's not just Roberts. If it was just Roberts, don't forget, without John Roberts, let me break this down to you. Without John Roberts, the Supreme Court is 5-4. If John Roberts goes along with the 3 liberal judges, there are 5 conservative judges on the other side. What I'm trying to explain to you is that there are judges that are ready to help Donald Trump on the Supreme Court and in federal courts. Why am I bringing that up? It is to show you that the argument for fraud and rigging is so rubbish. It's so rubbish, they can't even help him. They can't help him. And so everyone that is still talking about, fraud and rigging, you are a liar. You are either a liar or a moron, or a combination of both. A moral liar, a liar moron. A liar. Thank you, Rita. For those of you who are still confused about, how the judges and who's a judge, the evangelicals really. The thing about Trump for the evangelicals in America, at least the political evangelicals, their leaders who are into politics, was that Trump was going to be, and he was the vehicle for them to get conservative judges onto the bench. He did that for them. They really. Now, it wasn't. I don't credit him. I credit Mitch McConnell, right? He was just the rubber stamp they needed. Trump cannot tell a liberal from a conservative judge if he hit him in the head. The only question Donald Trump wants to know is that if I put you there, will you back me up? That's the only thing that Donald Trump has in his head. It's empty except the word Trump. There's only one word in Donald Trump's way, that's Trump. The question Trump will ask anybody, like, will you help me? If I make you a judge, will you do the right thing for me? That's all. That's why Donald Trump was. That's why he was. That's why he was surprised. That's why he was disappointed in his justices. Because in his own brain, if I make you a judge, you must bow to me now. What's all this? He doesn't understand math. And that's something I'm glad he's an incompetent fool. Because if he was smarter, we'd be in bigger trouble. MJ, no, I'm getting to Moscow, Mitch, and Barr and Pence leaving him. So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to completely eradicate every conversation about rigging and fraud. You have had every opportunity to prove it in court. Imagine the moronic nature of that argument. You are online claiming that there's widespread fraud. Fraud everywhere. This election was so rigged. So prove it in one court. Let's see. Silence. In the one place, it's like a guy saying, man, if I get that guy, I'll punch him, I'll beat him up. Who is he? I'm bigger and better. And then they fix the date for the match. And then you don't show up. After you have been bragging about your fighting prowess. That's what happened here. Yeah. People were arguing with me online. And I will tell you again, my specialty is in criminal defense. I do some real estate. I'm not into election law, but I do know a good deal of my constitutional law. And I'm sitting there watching people who have no connection to the law, no connection to America, no understanding of how it works, arguing emphatically and with authority. Oh, do you see that? Now, somebody said, oh, finally, Supreme Court is involved. You guys will see something now. When that Pennsylvania suit came out, Dekunle versus Brock Lesnar. That's what it is. That's what it is. After shouting matches, this person was online saying, when they were losing the first cases, he said, you guys don't understand the strategy. He was sounding, people were on his page saying, you are right, I see your point. Yeah, you are making sense. Don't mind them. Trump is still going to win. They were hailing him on his page. And he was waxing poetic, like, the main strategy is to get a Supreme Court. All you need is one case to go to Supreme Court. And then when Supreme Court get that one case, they're going to use that one case to invalidate the election. And then Trump become president. You guys don't understand how it works. Oh, you're shouting that he's losing cases. He's losing cases. He's losing cases. He's losing it on purpose so that he can get to it. I'm like, hey, Grammy, what kind of Twilight Zone is this? Did you understand that Supreme Court cannot manufacture its own case? It must deal with what is coming. Do you realize that when you come to Supreme Court with an original jurisdiction matter, it must be based on substance, something they can sink their teeth into? You have not bothered to ask yourself, what's the basis of the suit? Texas AG. Now, let me explain to you, and I don't blame you too much, because obviously, if I'm like you, I'll be saying to myself, well, if the Texas AG, an attorney general of Texas, is filing a suit and is sending it to the Supreme Court, and Justice Alito is saying, send it, it must mean that I don't blame you. The only thing that you have not factored is that the Texas AG is looking for a pardon. So he doesn't mind filing rubbish. He might go to jail. So what does he care? He will file rubbish. But it's left to you to now ask a simple question. The basis of his filing, what is it? What is the basis of it? When he filed that Texas wants to challenge the way Pennsylvania, Georgia, Arizona, Michigan, the way they ran their elections, it was in that moment you would have noticed that, wait, there's something wrong here. America's federalism gives the states the power to run their own elections. I do not think that another state can challenge one other state about the election laws. If you have any knowledge of how American works, states and federal, that should have stopped you in your tracks before the Supreme Court had to show it to you face to face. But that's what I'm talking about. Conversations with no basis of knowledge. And Donald Trump has made this a lifestyle. He has infected this nation and the world with this idea of talking with no basis or making up your own facts and then building a house of cards on those fake facts. After all, when Trump came into the White House, and this is the first time that I heard the phrase alternative facts. That was our clue. Alternative facts, Kellyanne Conway. It's the first time I heard that they're going to be governing with their own facts, lies. It is those alternative facts that has brought us to 320,000 Americans dead, right? Because the alternative fact was, number one, Corona wasn't coming here. Kellyanne Conway was on TV promising that President Trump will not let Corona come to America. And as she was talking, people were already coughing. That's number one. Alternative facts is what made Donald Trump tell the world that we have only one case in America and it's going to be gone. Alternative facts is what made Donald Trump tell people that you have only 15 cases and it was going to be gone. Alternative facts told Americans that this thing will be gone by summer. Alternative facts told America that by April, Easter will open up. Do you understand that? Alternative facts is what told Americans that you don't really need to wear a mask, even though the CDC says wear it. It's not a big deal. It was those alternative facts that he kept using, and people kept dying. You know, Austin Dubois, my brother, Pat Robinson, yeah, Pat Robinson just said it. I'm glad you brought it up. Pat Robinson, no, these are Donald Trump's backbones. Pat Robinson said Donald Trump should let go. Biden has won. He's living in an alternate reality. This is Geraldo Rivera. Geraldo Rivera did a hostage video where he was confessing that well, it's over. You know, I don't like all this talk of martial law. People are waking up. Fox News is losing viewers. Do you understand what's going on? In our very eyes, the lies are unraveling. The lies are unraveling. Talk to me. As Auntie Femi said, they are waiting for him in Katsina to build a wall for Boko Haram. Yeah, because he's a big wall builder. The wall he never finished, that Mexico didn't pay for. Do you understand what's going on, ladies and gentlemen? And that's why we're at a point now where I will not tolerate it anymore. Your lies have been debunked. I shared something earlier today. The voting machine company that they have been shouting about, talking point. Nigerians are amazing. Oh. I love Nigeria because Nigerians are involved in the vaccine development. Nigerians are working at NASA. Nigerians are involved in some of the deepest and best things in this world. I continue to be amazed. I continue to be amazed at how Nigerians are able to be. The Nigerians are always involved in the biggest discoveries, inventions. You know, Nigerians are amazing. Art and entertainment right now, Nigerians, they have taken African music, they have taken it global. What am I trying to say? Anything that in Nigeria, or Nigerians generally, with some exceptions, anything that Nigerians hold on and grab like this, we take it to the max, including conspiracy theories. We are the best. You see Nigerians arguing things and you're like, hey, where did you hear that? They were talking about, I've been hearing about Dominion machines, Smartmatic. They were talking about Smartmatic. Nigerians will hear one word and they will globalize it. They were arguing with me, say, oh, you see, you people don't know what's going on in the real world. I said, tell me. He said, those Dominion machines, they are being taken right now, they are being taken apart. And evidence is being found in those machines that when you vote for Trump, it flips it to Biden. You vote for Trump, it flips to Biden. And they are gathering and they will destroy everything that Biden has made and the election will be reversed. You guys watch and see. You don't know anything. Go and Google it, Dominion voting machine. I was, for months, no, for weeks, I was hearing that. So and I asked the person, the machine you're talking about, how many precincts did they use the machine? Is it all the swing states? You say, I don't know, but the Dominion, Smartmatic, they like buzzwords. Right now, they're talking about January 6th, Electoral College, certification. They like buzzwords, and they have no clue what it is. No clue. Yo, MJ, let me talk about it. Newsmax is the new Fox News, yeah? It's battling with OAN, which I feel bad for OAN because OAN was really coming up strong. Yeah, Newsmax just, anyway. Newsmax is the new, it was on Newsmax that we just saw, that I just played for you, where Michael Flynn is calling for martial law. And then at the end of the video, he says, I'm not calling for that though. After he described what he's expecting to happen. They must think you are stupid to do this kind of games. Newsmax, they have been the one at the forefront of saying the voting machines were rigged. They are the ones that Sidney Powell has been using as a mouthpiece to say that Hugo Chavez, who died 6 years ago, is the one that rigged the election from Venezuela. You must, how out of your mind can you be to listen to someone like that and say, yeah, I agree. Hugo Chavez, who is there? She said Hugo Chavez is behind it. Maybe some of you don't know the theory that Sidney Powell is talking about. Sidney Powell said that Hugo Chavez in Venezuela has organized the voting machines, but the voting machines were taken to India and they were recalibrated. The Dominion machines were recalibrated in India so that when they now came back to America, Bashego said he must have rigged it from the grave. No, he rigged it in advance 6 years ago, knowing full well that Trump will be president and Biden will be running. So apparently Hugo Chavez and the communist Chinese got together, and apparently they sent the machines to India to be recalibrated, to now smuggle it into New Jersey. So that when you vote for Trump, the machine will just Biden. Trump, Biden. So this is their theory that the machine was just turning votes for Biden, this mathematic machine. This has been their theory. That's why when they got to court and the judge says, show me proof of fraud and rigging, they were like, we're not really, it was not really like rigging, it's not. What I'm trying to say is that there wasn't fraud, but something was odd. Some things were just not in place. But we're not saying it's fraud. We're not really. Then the judge was like, what are you doing here? That's why they got thrown out of court. So now this is the second layer. All of you that have been following them with Smartmatic has threatened to sue Newsmax, Fox, and OAN. Go and read your newspaper. Do you know what happened the next day? Go and Google it. On each of those networks, they ran a new segment. We have never seen this before. I wanted to call some of you, but I wasn't able to do it on time. Google, just Google Newsmax. What am I talking about? Go on my Facebook page right now. Click on it. I put it there. The link is there. You will read the whole story. You will see the videos. Newsmax, OAN, and Fox all are now working on segments where they themselves, listen to this madness. My people, you have to understand this. They listen to this segment. Fox News, OAN, and Newsmax, all the channels that have been saying the machines were rigged, they themselves have now by themselves, to themselves, brought experts for themselves to come and confess on themselves station. In fact, I think it was Fox News. The one that Fox News did was like, they asked guy, so have you seen any evidence that any of the Dominion machines were rigged? They brought an expert to say, I have not seen any evidence that any Dominion machine was rigged. This is madness. After they spent weeks telling us of the Dominion machines that were rigged, when Dominion now sued their father, they receive cess. You see, themselves is having issue with themselves. Do you understand? It is the same process I've been trying to describe to you about the courts. The suits. Do you know what somebody said? Like, these Smartmatic Dominion people, they realized this is a cash cow for us. Hey, Smartmatic said, for those of you who don't understand why no one else sued them before now, in order to sue for libel, for defamation, there's some things you have to show. Just generally, I'm not going into detail, but you have to be able to show that you were harmed by the statements or the actions of the other party, and you have to show that you suffered loss or you were damaged. All right. So most individuals are not able to really prove that because, for instance, two reasons. For one, like I showed you with Tucker Carlson a few weeks ago, I hope you are following me. Tucker Carlson was sued for something he said about somebody. That person sued him to court. Do you know that the defense that Tucker Carlson's lawyers used in court, listen to this, and I posted it, the reason Tucker Carlson escaped that lawsuit is because his lawyers got in front of the judge and said, Your Honor, Tucker Carlson's show is an entertainment show. It's not a news program. And everything that he says is entertainment. It's not information. It's not said for the truth of the matter. That's how Tucker Carlson escaped paying money. Do you understand what I'm saying? He goes on TV, he spills rubbish. All you MAGA people with your hearts, you follow him and you go and die by what he says. Then he goes to court and his lawyers are telling the judge, don't take him seriously. He's just having fun. Do you understand? That just happened this year to Tucker Carlson. The entire Fox News apparatus uses that as their go-to when they're accused of anything. So that's why they get away with it. The reason they can't get away with this one is because the entity, the party that was harmed, is able to show damages. Whether or not you are playing, you have cost me money. Smartmatic does business all over the world. The news that Smartmatic machines were rigged and they rigged the election in America destroyed their businesses all over the world, affected their business. And so they came with a lawsuit and said, we are going to sue you if you don't retract your statements. This is how you can test truth. Ladies and gentlemen, if after I'm telling you this, you still go ahead and you believe there's rigging, then you just want to be deceived, and that's on you. They went back. All of them are airing segments where they are bringing their own experts to come and debunk their own theories about rigging machines. You see, deception has taken over the nation. Lies. And I love moments like this where the lie runs into a brick wall of reality. I'm hoping, me and BC talked about it earlier, I'm hoping Smartmatic does not take their apology. I'm hoping Smartmatic does not allow their retractions to be final. Sue them. You see, I wish I could talk to Smartmatic and the Dominion machines. I wish I could find all the people that have been harmed. Sue them as a group. Sue them. Sue Newsmax. Sue Fox News. Sue OAN. Sue them to court. Let them bleed money. Let them bleed money. You see, that's when they will start to rethink before they air rubbish. That Newsmax has just started his career and is already in lawsuits. You know? They just started their career and they are already dealing with lawsuits because lies. You cannot sustain lies when you are faced with a brick wall of verification. And that's what I'm trying to say today. Anybody who's still out there and you still believe in fake machines, in machines rigging election, go and listen to the same channels that told you that nonsense. Watch them retract. Watch them backtrack and realize that you have been lied to once again. They've never stopped lying. I posted it when Tucker Carlson went on TV and he said, the dead people are voting. And we said, what is your evidence? And Tucker Carlson said, we found one. And he said, his name is James McCullough or something like that. And he said, he died 3 years ago. And yet his name was on the voter roll that he voted. And then the local channel in that area went to do the investigation. And we found out that his wife, who uses his full name, who has used his full name since they were married, is the one that voted. They didn't bother to look at the misses in front of it. Are you kidding me? Tucker Carlson had to now do another show, pretending that he's happy that it was not a dead person. After some big-headed guys online have run around the world spreading it, like, yeah, Tucker Carlson have found one of them, the dead, the zombie voters. This is the lie that they perpetrate. This is how they keep themselves paid. Tucker Carlson has a mansion. Tucker Carlson is getting paid millions to spew lies. He's a liar. He's the same idiot that went on TV and started attacking Jill Biden because she's been referred to as a doctor. Not because Jill Biden has been asking people to call her doctor. That's not how it works. If I have a doctor in my family, if I have someone who obtains a doctorate, if I know you and I respect you, I'll put doctor in front of your name because I understand it's not beans. It's not beans to get doctorate. It's not beans. Tucker Carlson had the nerve to get on that controversy and talking about, oh, if someone is having a heart attack, can she help? You're a moron. Only you would ask that question, and only morons will believe you that you are asking a serious question. So the only person that can be called doctor is the one that can help you if you have a heart attack. Who are you talking to? Who are these idiots? Who are these people that are without sense that you're having conversation with? This is the problem I have with people. They will never be honest about the situation. So you have Carlson saying that, and you have all these people out there following him. You know, what is the point? And then when they do their retractions, nobody is there. Oh, now look at this. Rita, I saw this one too. I wanted to wait for the story to develop. They found one who voted. Somebody registered his dead relatives to vote, but it was for Trump in Pennsylvania. He registered his dead relatives to vote, whether or not the vote actually took place, but he's been charged. So the only one voter we found that dead people are voting, that somebody who uses the names of dead people to vote happens to be for Trump. So if you remove all the dead people that voted, Trump will lose by more. This is amazing, America. This is amazing that you will subject yourself to this. let me. I want to quickly go to January 6th because I know many of us are having that conversation. But let me get some comments in here. Yeah, this is all of them. At least MAGA people came through for Dominion. It's true. It's true. Dominion is going to make money when they sue Newsmax and OAN. Lying is in their blood. The lying is in their blood. If zombies are voting, you think all the civil rights activists won't have voted. That's exactly right. So let me do this. How many of you have heard about January 6th and the plans of, the Republicans and Trump? As a matter of fact, some of the congressmen went to the White House. I think today they were seen at the White House. How many of you have heard about January 6th? Let me get what do you think January 6th is about? And what do you think the plan is? I'm going to break it down. But I want us to know that all the processes that Trump has been relying on to deceive his people to make money, he's raised over $200 million out of this continuous fighting, which is not really a fight. He's probably walking around the White House in his bathrobe, sulking, eating Cheetos, but he's making money because there are enough people out there who continue to send money to him. And now they are putting all their hopes on January 6th. So I wanted to break down the process. So January 6th essentially is a date that's set aside for the Congress to more or less verify and ratify the Electoral College votes that have already been certified. So the idea is that Mike Pence is going to be presiding, and the way it works is that they would read out the Electoral College votes to be read out, and the whole House ordinarily would accept that Electoral College vote without objection. Yeah, Alex. Yeah, I mean, you say nothing crazy will happen, but they still have one or two things in their mind they think they want to do. So here's the plan. Yeah, well, here's the problem. The problem you have is this: January 6th. So the way it works, and that's why there's half information is what they use to deceive a lot of these people. So it is true that the congressmen have to certify the votes. It's true that that the way it's broken down, you have, let me put it this way, it's not a simple majority. The process of just ratifying it is not a simple majority. So in that area, the Democrats do not have the advantage they have generally in the House. When it comes to this issue, this ratification, this certification, the congressional distribution favors the Republicans. They have more districts represented, right? Even though Democrats are more in the House. I don't want to go too deep into that, but let's just say that and Rita, it's ordinarily ceremonial. But let me break it down to why people think there's a hope for something to happen. So you have these people who are going to sit there, and if you have congressmen who object to certification of the electoral votes of a particular state, then if that objection is seconded by a member of the Senate, this is where it gets, that's why they're bringing in the new stuff. So let me try and play this video for you, and then I'll get something. So if you get the Senate involved, then you'll be able to now, the objection will stand. The objection will stand. If that objection stands, then you can go ahead and now, let me see this. All right, let me just play this video. Okay, someone said I should play the Mike Flynn video. Okay, just play that for you guys for 1 more minute, and let me just put that up there.
I hear some murmurings.
Okay,
about the staff shakeup at the Pentagon. They're putting people in place who might not be opposed to aggressive action, and the president does have some options, at least on paper. Can you tell us what those options are, and your opinion, if he might any of them?
I don't know if he's going to take any of these options. I mean, the president has to plan for every eventuality, because we cannot allow this election and the integrity of our election to go the way it is. I mean, this is just totally unsatisfactory. There's no way in the world that we are going to be able to move forward as a nation with this. So the president has and I just mentioned one of the options. I mean, he could immediately, on his order, seize every single of these machines around the country on his order. He could also order within the swing states, if he wanted to, he could take military capabilities, and he could place them in those states and basically rerun an election in each of those states. I mean, it's not unprecedented. I mean, these people out there talking about martial law, it's like it's something that we've never done. We've done, martial law has been instituted 64 times, Greg. So I'm not calling for that. We have a constitutional process. We clearly have a constitutional process. I think you highlighted some of that in your previous segment. That has to be followed. But I will tell you that I'm a little concerned about Chief Justice John Roberts at the Supreme Court. I mean, that we can't fool around with the fabric of the Constitution of the United States. And I think that right now the Constitution, if the Supreme Court doesn't get involved in at least making sure that the fabric of that Constitution is held together, and all they have to do is look at the evidence. They have to look at the evidence. I'm not certain. In fact, I don't believe that the Supreme Court of the United States has even looked at the merit of any of the cases that have been put forward yet. What they've been looking at is process files, whether somebody crossed the T or dotted an I. And that's unsatisfactory. That is, to me, that lacks courage. It lacks moral fiber within the Chief Justice, and frankly, within the members of the Supreme Court.
All right, that's see, for those of you who didn't see that video, that's Michael Flynn basically calling for martial law. So I wanted to get that in because I know that a lot of people were telling me that somebody was commenting even on the phone that it wasn't real. But let me tell you something, that thing is real. And that's why we just have to get rid of this guy. We have to get rid of this guy, and the sooner the better. The sooner the better. So let me do this for now. I'm going to do another segment for the electoral college votes. What you need to know is this: they are going to have to vote, object, then the House and the Senate will break up and go and argue among themselves. That's where it will fail. The House will defeat the objection. Mitch McConnell has indicated that he's not interested in this fight. He will also defeat the objection in the Senate because people like Mitt Romney, Lisa Murkowski, all of those guys are already upset with Trump and his people. They're going to destroy the objection. Now, they might do the objection 5 times. That's what's going to make it a long day. But at the end of the day, those objections will die in the House and in the Senate, and they will come back and finally certify. But I gotta leave it there. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your boy JFK. I'm gonna catch you on the next round. I want to talk about the vaccine, but we'll do that next time. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good day, man. I appreciate you guys. We're gonna talk again. Thank you, my people. Alex, Laemi, BC, Peter. You guys are the best. Later, it's your boy.